Hello and welcome. With this video, I'll be starting a new little series that I would like to call the Solar System Spotlight. A while ago, after reaching 45 subscribers, I made a sort of celebration video about some cool things in space. And since I, of course, still think space is very cool, I'm going to continue making videos about it. This series will focus on things that exist within the solar system, as the name probably implies. As the intro to this series, this video will cover the solar system itself. To start, it would probably help to define what the solar system actually is. It's the planetary system that we live in. It's called the solar system because we use the word solar, which is derived from the Latin word solis, to describe things related to our star. The solar system is comprised of the sun, 8 planets, a bunch of moons, and a lot of other little things floating around. These other little things include asteroids, comets, and dwarf planets. Basically, the solar system can be described as everything that is gravitationally pulled into orbit around the sun. In order from the closest to the furthest from the sun, the 8 planets are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. The solar system is not fixed in place. It's moving around. To be specific, it is orbiting the galactic center of the Milky Way galaxy at around 515,000 miles per hour. If you drove at that speed on the highway, you might get arrested, but you would probably also kill yourself and everyone around you. It takes the solar system around 230 million years to complete one orbit around the galactic center. Aside from the sun, planets, and moons, the solar system also includes the asteroid belt and the Kuiper belt. The asteroid belt is a region between Mars and Jupiter that's composed of, well, asteroids. The Kuiper belt, on the other hand, is a region beyond Neptune where objects such as Pluto reside. Additionally, there's also the Oort cloud, which is a theoretical sort of shell that surrounds the solar system. It's located a very short distance away, with only between 2,000 and 100,000 astronomical units between it and the sun. What's an astronomical unit, you may ask? Well, it's equivalent to the distance between Earth and the sun, so around 93 million miles. The Oort cloud is maybe so close you can possibly practically taste it. Since the edge of the solar system is estimated to be about 9 billion miles out from the sun, the Oort cloud, if it exists, technically isn't part of it, but I will still eventually be making a video on it because I'm the one in charge here and I want to. Now, you may be wondering where the solar system came from. Did it just appear out of nowhere one day? Not quite. The solar system is estimated to be about 4.5 billion years old. It first formed from a dense cloud of gas and dust. This cloud collapsed, and we're not too sure why, but it may have been because of the shockwave of a nearby supernova, which is basically a star exploding at the end of its lifespan. The collapse formed a solar nebula, which was a spinning and swirling disk of material. Thanks to gravity, more and more material was eventually pulled in. At some point, the pressure in the core was so great that hydrogen atoms began to combine to form helium. This birthed the sun, which amassed more than 99% of the available matter because it was just really hungry, I guess. Farther out from the sun, more matter clumped together. Some of these clumps collided with each other and combined to form larger objects. Over time, some became large enough that gravity was able to make them spherical. This process formed planets, dwarf planets, and large moons. In other cases, these clumps of matter didn't grow big enough for gravity to make them spherical. The asteroid belt contains many such clumps, which are remnants from the early days of the solar system. The solar system's formation influenced its structure. Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, the 4 planets closest to the sun, are rocky and terrestrial because, in the early days of the solar system, that was the only sort of material that could survive the intense heat of being that close to the sun. Meanwhile, in the outer regions of the young solar system, materials such as ice, liquid, and gas settled together. Gravity pulled these materials together to form the gas giants Jupiter and Saturn, and the ice giants Uranus and Neptune. For a bit, the solar system was considered to have 9 planets until Pluto was demoted to a dwarf planet. But wait, there might still be a 9th planet. We don't know, though. It's only theoretical based on mathematical models that are intended to explain the unusual orbits of some objects in the Kuiper belt. Unless we find definitive proof of this 9th planet's existence, we'll never know for sure. Our solar system is far from the only one in the Milky Way. There are estimated to be about 4,000 other planetary systems within the galaxy. Some systems have more than one star that orbit around each other. Isn't that neat? Planets that orbit around another star are called exoplanets. Not all stars have planets, though. Some are just out there floating by themselves in the vast and possibly infinite cosmos. Speaking of planets, there are 3 main requirements for something to be considered a planet. 1. The object circles a star without being the satellite of another object. This means that moons cannot be planets. 2. The object is large enough to be rounded by gravity, but not so large that it undergoes nuclear fusion. Basically, it can't be a star. And 3. The object has cleared the area around it of any neighboring bodies. This is the requirement that got Pluto booted to dwarf planet status. For thousands of years, astronomers have observed points of light that seem to move across the sky. Greek astronomers named them planets, meaning wanderers. This is because other planets in the solar system seemed to wander across the sky, while stars appeared to remain fixed in their location. Obviously, other stars do move, but they're so far away that you pretty much can't see it from Earth. Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn were all known to astronomers for a very long time. This is because they are all visible in the night sky to the unaided eye. With the invention of the telescope, astronomers later discovered the asteroid belt, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, and many other objects. In more recent decades, astronomers have used robotic spacecraft to explore the solar system and learn more about it. Only 5 of these spacecraft have ever left the solar system and gone interstellar: Voyager 1, Voyager 2, New Horizons, Pioneer 10, and Pioneer 11. Voyagers 1 and 2 have both exited the heliosphere. This is a bubble created by solar wind, which is electrically charged gas blowing outward in all directions from the sun. The Voyagers were also the first spacecraft to leave the solar system, but even though they're outside the heliosphere, it will take them thousands of years before they reach the Oort cloud. Remember what I said earlier? The Oort cloud is so close by. The solar system is full of plenty of wonderful and incredible things that are, comparatively, pretty close to our home here on Earth. I'm looking forward to exploring it and seeing what I can learn so I can share it with all of you. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this little introduction to our solar system.